Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore Series on PS5. Tonight it is round 8. We're heading to Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're coming off the back of our best result of the season, possibly taking everything into consideration, the best result of the series. We have not got a good car right now, and we've got two young, inexperienced drivers, and we managed to get them both in the points at Monaco, starting from 16th and 20th to finish in 9th and 10th. Oh, it feels so good to be getting points again. It's been such a long, difficult run that we've been having, of race after race just going badly. Our drivers making mistakes, or destroying parts on the car. It's so nice where everything just came together and we had a great race. I really hope we can keep that going. I do kind of feel that we may be going back down to going back to reality with a bit of a bump tonight. We shall see. But yeah, fantastic race. If you haven't watched it yet, do make sure you check out our race in Monaco because it was superb, absolutely superb. Right, let's crack on then with tonight's race at Barcelona. We've got excellent weather for the entire weekend, no threat of rain at all, which, given how we performed at Monaco in the wet in quali, is probably a good thing. This is a circuit that is very hard on the tyres, so we might have to mix things up a little bit. Neither of our drivers have got stellar smoothness ratings, so they will eat through tyres a little bit. So whereas I would normally go soft, medium, soft, or maybe a soft, medium, medium, we may have to throw a set of hards in this time, just to make sure that we don't run out of tyres. We'll see how we go. Let's take a quick look at our car analysis. There we go. We do have a difference between the two cars. What is that difference? They're both on the chassis. They're both on the front wing. Both on the rear wing. Both on the side pods. Underfloor. There we go. Let's install the underfloor now on Lawson's car as well. And they are both running the suspension. Good. So we should have equal performance now. It is looking that way. Yes, good. Okay, so let's take a look how we stack up against the rest of the grid. So we are still down on speed, but not by much anymore. You can see we've really closed that up. We're just about 0.2 kilometers shy of the average now. Acceleration still a little bit lacking. DRS is now right up there with the average, very close indeed. We've made some gains in low and medium speed downforce. We're still lagging behind a little bit, but not by much, and we are slightly ahead of the average on high speed, which is nice. And we're down to just a 4% loss in dirty air against the average as well. Brakes and engines still are lagging behind in terms of cooling, but that's not too bad. We'll see how things go as the rest of our upgrades drop. We do have more parts in development. We've got another chassis, another rear wing, and another suspension on the way, delayed, unfortunately. First with the design center fire, and then with some issues with the wind tunnel that needed to be investigated, which has stopped production or stopped development on our parts twice now this season. We will try and get these on the car as quick as we can without, spending a fortune through emergency manufacturing. But it is going to, slow down our development of this season, which is a bit of a shame. So based on where we sit on paper, at least, I'm going to be a little more conservative with our targets again. I'm going to try and get both cars into the top 15, but I don't think we're going to get into Q3, which is lucky because it's an incentive. The finish position, 2 in the top 12. I I don't think we'll get both cars there tonight. We'll try, but I don't think we'll manage it. We're certainly not going to get the fastest lap, so I'm not even going to try for that. Quali position streak, 2 in the top 14 for 2 races, and that might be a little bit too much. But I am going to try and get us some extra money on a streak. Given our inconsistency, we're just going to go 1 car in the top 15 across 5 races, and touch wood, that will work for us, and we'll bring in an extra million at the end of that. And I think we are ready to head to Barcelona.
Thank you for joining us for the Spanish Grand Prix here in Barcelona. The first Grand Prix held here was won by Nigel Mansell after a wheel-to-wheel battle with Ayrton Senna. But who will follow in his footsteps this weekend? Barcelona is a tricky circuit to balance. The technical corners demand high downforce, but that means adding stress to tyres and potentially limiting race strategies if teams go too far.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now. But that could still change with so many rounds left ahead of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
So hello to everyone in chat. Baron is here with us tonight, back on his normal account, back in the brown again. And we are going to start off by swapping out engine bits. We're going to run these parts on Oscar. They're still the lowest spec parts we've got. We might be running a new engine for him tonight in the race. Let's go with this engine here. That ERS is fine, and we'll go with that gearbox there. Go. Run plan for Barcelona is 20 laps of fuel. Drop those settings down. There we go. And now we need to put some setups on the car. So let's start with Oscar. Let's go with a 9.5 on the front wing, a 14 on the rear, a 6.4, a 3.4, and a 0.95. There we go. Everything in tolerance. Let's try something a little different for Liam. Let's go with an 8.5, 14.5, a 9.1, a 2.95, and a 0.3. There we go. Right, we'll go with hard tyres in this first stint, and out they go. And this will be Liam's first race using the new underfloor, so performance difference between the two drivers should be very, very close again.
Yeah, copy same.
Baron rewatched the race this morning. You could hear the relief in my voice after the points finishes. Yes, it was a huge relief to to actually bring those cars home and get some points once again. It's been a while. comes across as more fulfilling than any of the Mercedes successes we had.
Comments?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that first win with Mercedes was special. Especially considering we come close earlier in the season on a couple of occasions and had it snatched away from us.
It was pretty good.
But yeah, that was a really, really special race for me. You know, because on paper we shouldn't have been anywhere near the points. And yeah, we got a little lucky with a couple of retirements to help us out. But at the same time, we also adapted and adjusted our strategies on the fly to take advantage. We pushed when we needed to. Everything just fell into place beautifully. Evening, Sarada. How are you tonight? Alright, it's the end of the first runs. Make some changes. We've got a bit of work to do with both cars here. Okay, so we're not too far away. Let's try dropping that down to an 8.5, make that a 7.3. A 3.35 and a 0.95. Excuse me. That is not quite enough. Let's go 8, 14, 7, 3, 3.4 and a 1. That might be it. It's a bit touch and go with the traction, with the roll bar, but we'll try that. Let's take a look at what we need to do with Lawson. Right, so probably need to drop that down to a 14. That's going to need to be at least an 8.2. So let's try. Let's see, front wing's okay. Let's go 8.5, 14, 7, 3, 3.35. Well, this is the setup we were about to try on Oscar's car, but changed at the last minute. So 3.35 and a 0.95. Let's have a look at that. So front wing is too much. Maybe it needs to be a little bit less. All right, let's try the same setup we just put on Oscar. 8, 14, 7, 3, 3.4 and 1. And that could be good. So we'll try running the same setup on both cars and see what happens. Just having a look, see if we've got any reserves running tonight. It doesn't look like it. I haven't seen a reserve driver all season so far that I can recall anyway. very encouraging. 99%. Nice. So, just need to click the toe once, and Lawson's car is sorted. What about Oscar? And exactly the same for Oscar. So, we are very, very close then. Just one click of toe. Quite sure which direction to go on that yet, but that's all we need on both cars to get those up to 100%. We will also get our car part knowledge back up to 100% tonight as well. So we could be looking at both drivers hitting 100% confidence for the first time in a while in practice tonight, which would be excellent. That needs to be a 0.95. It's got to be a 0.95 on that one as well, because it's the only direction we can take that. There we go. So let me just make that amendment to the notebook. There we go. And that's it for getting the setup sorted in practice. Excellent stuff. So we just need to run now for the next few sessions. Evening, Farah. So medium tyres in this session. Let's see. How many laps do I want to go? Let's go 28 laps. That should be more than enough for this session.
Should be green now. And hope when you stay on the track there.
Yes, it does, Oscar.
Let's take a closer look. Now here we are at the final corner. Just a bit too wide at that point. Well, hopefully not as...
Hopefully he hasn't damaged the underfloor. Looks like we got away with that.
Mate, what's going on?
We are checking.
So this is what happened. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there. That won't do the floor of the car.
Okay, it's 2 mistakes for Oscar in this session now. It's not encouraging. And Yuki gives us a sympathy run wide as well.
Let's have a look at the action. It's all at the final corner. And that's... oh no, that's not quite what they would have wanted.
And this will be 100%. Boom. There we go. And same for Oscar. Excellent stuff. Car park knowledge now at 100% as well, so it is just getting the track knowledge in that remains. And there are the 100s popping up in the chat. How much do I hate Power Wash Simulator? It's alright, actually. It's very cathartic, I suppose, in some ways. It's a game where you really don't really have to think at all. It's amazing how much time you can just blow, just pointing a hose at some dirt. It's not bad. I'll keep playing it for now. I don't know if I'll stick it out for the platinum, but I'll give it a go. Yeah, it's certainly a game where you don't really have to think too hard. I got plenty of audiobooks on Audible to catch up on, so that'll keep me busy. Looking good going into the final session. Soft tyres this time. We're going to go with 25 laps of fuel. 25 might not be enough. Let's go 28 laps again. Just to be on the safe side.
Green light. A bit less curb. Yeah.
Don't look now, Farah, but Hamilton is top of the timings. And there we go. Normal service has been resumed. Max is now top. Looks like we should just about hit 100 right before the end of the run. There we go. Practice is done. Both of our drivers at 100%. Been a while since that's happened. First time this season, I think, actually. That's another relatively straightforward practice weekend in the books. A couple of little wobbles from Oscar in practice 2, but no damage done. And we are ready for qualifying.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
Teams often bring upgrades to Barcelona, so the qualifying order could be a little shaken up. Cars need to be well balanced in both high and low speed corners to set a good lap here.
Now there's been a bit of talk lately about Oscar Piastri. Karun, how's he been doing?
I'll say this, it's always a pleasure seeing a confident driver take to the track. Being in the right frame of mind is a real advantage.
Don't go anywhere, folks. It's nearly time for qualifying.
Okay, so let's put in the better bits into Liam's car. There we go, and we're going to break out new parts for Oscar tonight. So on to engine number 3 already. That's a little frustrating. And also, actually we can stick with that ERS unit. There's still another 10% life in that one before it dips. But we will need to go on to gearbox number 4, because that's only got 3% left. There we go. Right, one flying lap at a time. Let's see how we can go.
Start to work on your fronts and your brakes. Copy. Straight line braking. Copy box. good gap ahead. Push when you're ready. Straight out, track is clear. Charge off and push.
Evening, Mr. Water. Right, Oscar up slightly in the first sector. But has now been beaten by either Hamilton or the Red Bull, not sure which one. Lawson up in the middle sector, so very close between our two drivers again. And it's a 1:13.0 for Piastri. What can Lawson do?
Yep, copy.
A 1:12.9, just 22 thousandths between them.
This is in lap, this is in lap.
Right, Hamilton coming up to the line, and there's a 1:12.7. We're only a couple of tenths behind Hamilton. It's a bit more like it. We're a second behind Perez. But it's only a second from pole at the moment, or provisional pole. That's not too bad. I am going to send them out. I was thinking about maybe keeping them in the garage, but it's a little bit too much of a risk, I think. No, I wanted to leave a little bit of a gap between Oscar and the Williams, but the second Williams popped out just before Oscar did, so
And good braking when you can.
this could
Just
go
for the
good
brakes.
or it could go bad. We might be a little bit too close and the dirty air might affect us, or we might get a nice slipstream. We have got a decent enough gap between Lawson and Oscar, so it shouldn't hold up Lawson. Ferrari tearing up onto the back of Lawson. Hopefully that won't make him pull over.
So we should be good on traffic. Good to push. Track is clear.
No, he's going to start his flying lap now. That's good.
Okay, let's go.
So both cars going through right now, but I will expect some improvements, so it would be nice for our drivers to improve as well. No improvement for Oscar in the first, but Lawson's up. Bit of traffic there for Oscar. Hopefully that's not going to hold him up. Lawson coming up to the back of that Alfa Romeo. That should be out of the way nicely. A slight lift. Neither driver improving in the middle sector. This is going to be tight. Straight one for the line for Oscar here. And now for Lawson. Oscar does not improve. He's down to 15th. What about Lawson in 14th? Can he improve? He can. He's in 11th. So Oscar is at risk. Lawson is safe. Let's check Hulkenberg. Does not improve. What about Gasly? Gasly improves and knocks out Oscar. That's a shame. So, we've already lost some money with the sponsors, but it was close. It was very close. Evening, Victor. Maybe I should have gone out a little bit sooner than I did. Oh, their confidence was a little bit higher. Never mind. Hopefully we can make up some places in the race itself. So this is going to be a slow lap. We'll just whiz through to get this done.
Follow the reference.
On 14.0.
This is in lap. This is in lap.
Okay, copy.
Going to send him straight back out again on the same tyres. See if we can maybe sneak a little bit of an improvement. Up in the first. Up in the middle.
Currently P10.
Did we actually
You
improve?
were on target. You were on target.
We did by about a tenth.
Copy.
Okay, so we'll put some fresh tyres on for a run here at the end of the session and see if we can get higher than 15th. Importantly though, we did get Liam's confidence all the way up. Evening, horrific.
There is Norris in front of you. Recharge off and push.
We are up in the first. I mean, we're a long way off, so I'm expecting improvements in all sectors here. I'm hoping we can find nearly a second. I'm probably being overly optimistic with that, but that's my hope.
Checker flag.
Alright, up towards the line. What can we do? Oh, we're in the top 10! We're in 9th. Look at that. We found more than a second. We found a second and a half. Beautiful. Oh. Someone improved. We're in 10th. Russell stays in the 11th. What about Alonso? And he's got the Williams right behind him. Alonso knocked us out, and so does Albon. We're down to 12th. That was nice while it lasted. So, qualifying 3 results, it's Perez on pole from Max, then the 2 Ferraris of Sainz and Leclerc, Hamilton in 5th, Magnussen all the way up in 6th, where did that come from? Then Albon in 7th, Ocon 8th, Alonso 9th, and Zhou in 10th.
The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Barcelona is a circuit with plenty of history under its belt. It was here, after all, that multiple world champion Max Verstappen secured his very first F1 victory back in 2016.
As we look ahead to the race, Karun, how do you think the morale is over in the Alpha Tauri garage?
Well, it's maybe not exactly where they want to be, but generally they're still getting results. It'll be interesting to see what happens today.
Well, Formula One is back in Barcelona, and the teams have got their work cut out for them.
So, strategy. This is going to be a tricky decision as to exactly how to run, given that our drivers are likely to shred their tyres. And I think that might be what we need to go with. Soft, medium and hard. In that order. Soft, hard to medium. We'll see how it goes. One thing I do want to look at as well is, what about if we went medium, hard, medium? It's close. It's very close. I think I'll try splitting them slightly. We'll start on softs with Liam. We'll go on mediums with Oscar. Again, we can make adjustments on the fly if we need to. Go heavy on attack at the start. Can't do this for very long though, because we will burn through these tyres very quickly here at the circuit. They have a real tendency to overheat and wear out a lot quicker than you want them to, which is why we've gone for hards on the middle stint. If our driver's smoothness ratings were a little bit better, then maybe I might have ditched the hards and gone for extra mediums, but this is what we need to do, I think.
The stage is set here in Barcelona as we get ready for 66 laps of the Spanish Grand Prix. I suspect that we'll all be closely following Charles Leclerc in this one.
Starting fourth here is a great position. If the team can get their strategy right, they can bring home some big points.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. This is it. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
I will leave it to you. Copy.
Alright, just about hanging on to 12th against Russell here.
Use and deploy when you can.
Yeah, copy.
No, we just didn't have enough grip. Alright, I'm going to drop the tyres down. Not a good start for Oscar. He's down to 18th.
We need to protect the front tires.
Yeah, copy that.
Take a look, see what we're up against tyre-wise. Sight starting on the hards. A lot of softs around Lawson. A couple of mediums around Oscar. Let's start to push the batteries a bit now.
Pressure on the overtake.
Copy.
Get those gaps closed back up again. Stroll has just got around the outside of Lawson. Hopefully we can retake that position here on the straights. Doesn't look like it. We're going to tuck in. Big gap opening up now between Bottas and Oscar. Bottas is on softs. So now I can run the softs up to 130 degrees. Yeah, they'll melt if I do that. I mean, I'll get good performance for a few laps and then they'll fall off so quickly that I'll have to run them really low for the rest of the stint, or just box ridiculously early. Tyres overheat very quickly on this track, so that's not a viable option, because it's so easy for your pace to fall away very quickly. Oh, and that is Magnussen with a big lock-up at turn 1.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Now this was at turn 1. Oh, and the car locks up. They took a gamble and it was just too late.
Right, both drivers' confidence is looking good right now. Actually, not so much. Lawson's probably going to lose Stroll here. Piastri still hasn't caught up to Bottas.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Copy.
No energy.
Copy.
Evening, Mons. Evening, Anthony. Yeah, we have lost out to Oscar. Feeling that'll be the case. We can get past us on the straight because we didn't have the DRS. Let's see if we can stay with Yuki. Coming under pressure from Gasly. Gasly's through. Gasly looks like he's on a bit of a push right now, so that should hopefully bridge the gap between us and Stroll, keep us in the train if we can stay with Pierre. Easier said than done. We've got ourselves back past Yuki.
Overtake Martin.
Want to make sure we don't get dropped here, if it's all possible. Hulkenberg is close, and there's every risk that we'll go backwards if we're not careful.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
So we need one step more management.
Copy box.
I don't think we've got enough pace to stay with Gasly, unfortunately. Yuki gets back past. We're still fighting that position though.
You've got energy.
Copy.
Need to focus on getting the pack up.
Copy.
long as Schumacher doesn't get us here as well, we'll be okay. This game is much harder than the last one. Yes. Well, if you put it on hard, it is, yes. I was about to say some staunch defending from Lawson, and then he immediately locks up.
The tyre. Keep pushing.
He didn't want to fuck the tyre, but he already has done with that lockup. That drops him down to 19. And I need to take the heat out of those tyres. I did say we would probably come back down to reality with this Grand Prix. Better brake cooling would certainly be helping us. A, less likely to make lockups like Lawson just did, and B, it would help keep the tyre temps under control a bit more as well. Another yellow flag, and that's Lawson again. Oh dear. And that's his confidence gone.
We've got a yellow flag here. Let's have a look at that. Right, here's the action at turn 10. And then the car just goes. And I wonder,
they're going to make mistakes like this. At least they're doing it at Barcelona, where the walls are a long way away. And not at Monaco, where there is no distance to the walls at all. And that is those tyres well and truly ruined. So it's going to be an early stop for Liam. Tyre-wise with Oscar. We're on the line still, that's good. We are looking better than Magnussen tyre-wise, better than Hulkenberg. About the same as Gasly. Ocon sets a new fastest lap. Defending is really helping Piastri keep his confidence nice and high. He might get into peak in a moment if he's lucky. There we go, peak confidence. So just to demonstrate the difference in confidence, peak confidence there for Oscar, just. Is giving him very nice modifiers to his stats, whereas Lawson, with negative modifiers, looking pretty rubbish right now. Oh, and it's a spin for Yuki. It's a big spin for Yuki as well.
So it's yellow.
Yeah.
Just drops it on exit. Keeps it at the barrier.
Okay.
So that's cost him quite a bit of time. Schumacher on those softs will now start to close up and put pressure on us.
You can push harder.
Right, I wonder, given that we're going to have to stop very, very soon for Liam, would it be better to switch to a 3-stop? Well, it says on paper it's 6 seconds slower, but we would be able to set new personal best sectors, which would get his confidence up, which would get his pace up quicker. I think that might be the way to go. Plus, he's about to get overtaken, I think. So, oh no, he's way off the back of everybody. But, yeah, it will help get his confidence back up quicker. Just looking at Oscar.
And box.
Box.
Recharge on.
Yellow flag. We've got a crash.
And here we've got a yellow flag.
This isn't sector 3, this is sector 1. Coming together between Stroll and Russell. Schumacher gets through. Kind of saw that coming. It's not a quick stop, but it's clean. Penalty for Stroll for that little collision there with Russell.
Track is clear.
Now, hopefully, with Lawson, we can start
Recharge on.
to get some better sectors in, get that confidence level up a bit more. Tyres are up to temp now. No flag, and that's Russell. With a big lock-up and then just teleporting behind us.
So let's take a look at the replay.
So we're not the only ones
Right,
having some issues tonight.
Now
That's
at
good.
turn 7.
We're going to need more of that.
Struggling with the car. Now they did leave it very late.
And that, crucially, has freed up some air between Stroll and Schumacher as well, which means Schumacher is now vulnerable to us retaking that position. It's going to be boxing in a few laps. Russell might be boxing at the end of this one. And yes, he does.
starting battle.
And it's hard tyres for Russell. And there we go, a personal best sector. About time.
We need to focus on the energy now. Use energy. Copy.
Alright, we've got the move done. And that puts Oscar into full peak confidence. Now, can we push on and close it to the back of Stroll? Lawson is starting to shed some of those negative modifiers. It's a slow process though.
Recharge on, recharge on.
Is he at least upping his pace? Yeah, he's doing 117 zeros right now. I'm going to leave him on tyre push for one more lap. A little bit of leeway left in those tyres. Not a huge amount, but a little bit.
No energy. Bring the pack up.
Managed to break away from Schumacher. That's good. No DRS for him. Albon into the pits. We will move past him. Lawson's actually lapping faster than Russell. He is. Calm those tyres down now.
Slow down.
Qualifying's still not where I need them to be, but they are gradually coming down. Ocon in the pits, there's Stroll into the pits, and he has a 5-second penalty and potentially a wing change as well. He's missing his end plate on the, or part of his end plate on the front right there. It's the 5-second penalty, and it is a wing change. Russell goes through. Here comes Lawson. And with Stroll on hard tyres, this does give us a chance to stay with him, maybe even overtake him. Got the gap up to nearly 3 seconds to Schumacher now. Getting close to the pit window. Opens up on the next lap. Alonso into the pits. Schumacher's into the pits. Bottas is still out there on very, very worn out tyres. Is he going to get a puncture? I don't know, but we're going to put him under some pressure.
Lean on the tyres as much as you can.
Don't think we're going to catch Bottas before he gets to the end of the lap. He's almost certainly going to box, given where his tyres are. Would have been nice just to get a little top up on that confidence. And he does dive into the pits. I had a feeling that was about to happen. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to try and stretch this stint just an extra lap or two if possible. Open up the possibility of a set of softs for Oscar at the end. I think Lawson's pace has dropped off. It's into the 119s now. Tyres starting to give up a little bit. How's his confidence looking now? A little bit better. Again, those numbers are improving, but slowly. Norris boxes. Hulkenberg is the next up in front. He also needs to stop around the same time as us. Sonoda gets to stop as well. Got some cars coming up quickly behind us. We'll have to make sure we box before they catch us, otherwise we're going to lose confidence getting past. And everybody in front of us needs to stop. I'm going to up the pace now.
Pick up the pace a bit.
Got a yellow flag. Someone spun out, it's not us.
There's a yellow flag now.
It's Sainz.
Right then, we can take a look now. Now we're watching Carlos Sainz here.
In third, right behind the
And
two Red Bulls,
round
and just
they go.
loses it. He's still in third, but that's cost him 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds. And will have damaged his tyres a little bit as well. And now Leclerc's jumped him. Ocon is approaching very quickly. Alright, we're going to have to box this lap.
Box.
Copy, box.
Not going to be able to hold Ocon back if I go another lap, and I'd rather not lose the confidence from being overtaken. So we'll push. Maybe it'll help us get an undercut on Hulkenberg. just need to survive this straight. Ah, there's the lunge. I knew that was coming. Come on, hold him off, hold him off. I'm out of battery. And I had to give up the place because I'm going to box. Damn it. Alright, well, in that case... let's go an extra lap.
Box, end of this lap.
Copy, box.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Yep.
We're not going to be able to stay with Ocon, but we've got enough of a gap over Alonso that we can run this lap without being caught and passed. A lot of football chat going on tonight.
Back off now.
Yeah.
Lift and coast.
Copy.
Here we go.
Oscar pit lane.
Hey, phone.
So where's this going to bring us out? I've got a problem at the rear. It is. Damn it. Alright, brings us out in 19th place.
We can just focus on charging the pack.
Yep. Copy.
And we would have got out in front of Stroll if we hadn't had that issue. Ironically, I think that issue probably saved us a little bit, because if we had come out right in front of Stroll, he would almost certainly have overtaken us and Magnussen while we were getting our tyres up to temperature, which means we would have had a double hit to our confidence. So that little error has actually done us a favour, believe it or not. It's protected our confidence level, even if it has cost us 2 places. But the short-term pain is certainly better than the long-term pain of a double hit to the confidence level. And we can get up to speed pretty quickly. Yuki boxes now.
We push on tyres.
So it's about 1.6 kilos of fuel for a lap here at Barcelona. Lawson's getting lapped. There's no way around it in this race. I think it's almost an inevitability, given he's still got 2 more stops to make. I don't know if Lawson's going to get lapped or not, though. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can start to move Lawson back up the field again. We've got a nice little cluster of traffic in front, actually. Little cue from Hulkenberg on back, and he's only 3 seconds off of Bottas, so we're not that far away from 12th place. Although Hulkenberg has just dropped out on mediums. Bottas on soft as well. His tyres will start to fall away soon. Hamilton boxes from second. I'd imagine Zhou's going to box this lap as well. Maybe Gasly. Yep, Zhou's in. Gasly stays out. He's going to go another lap. Checking on Lawson's confidence level. Oh, a little moment for Farah here.
So the Mercedes crew are out. Oh, but they have trouble releasing the car.
So yeah, got the confidence modifiers down to -3s now, from the -5s they were earlier. It's an improvement, not a huge improvement, but it is an improvement. We'll be boxing Lawson in the next lap or so. Yuki's starting to close him down. There we go.
Box, 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 box. Copy, box.
Let's push. Recharge on, recharge on.
Let's get onto those cars in front now. They're all queuing up now behind Schumacher. As Gasly does hit the box now. Just a single overtake will get Oscar back into peak confidence.
No more overtake. Copy. Need to focus on getting the pack up. Copy.
Just missing out on DRS, I think. Yep. And Lawson's in. It's a little quicker than his last stop, I think. They get lapped very quickly here by Perez. Can we stay with Perez here?
Save 10-3. And small lift off to the tyres. Recharge off.
Right, we're into the window.
High speed.
Into the DRS window here. And Russell has dropped back. Or was he trying to make a move on Schumacher? I'm not sure. I think he was part of that group actually. We're in there now. And we can't stay with Perez, unfortunately. All right, well, let's splurge some battery now.
As much as you can.
Again, try and set some personal best sectors. so we can get rid of the last of those modifiers before we start getting lapped by the rest of the cars. Verstappen has boxed from the lead. The Ferraris have gone through. Ocon's about to go through as well. There we go, just gets out in front of Max at turn 1. If we can't get something to help us close the gap, like a red flag or a safety car, before we get to our next pit stop with Lawson, I probably will retire the car after that final stop. Save the engine. But we'll at least see if something happens in the next sort of 15 laps or so, 20 laps. Just keeping a watching brief on all the action in front of us. We have got better tyres than all the cars in front. And that was a new personal best lap for Liam there, 1:16.1. Modifiers down to -2s now. We are starting to make some progress with Liam.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Copy.
Let's try and get some battery in the car. It's going to be tricky doing this and staying in the DRS here. But we're not going to be able to make any forward progress without some battery. And it just takes a very long time to charge up at this circuit in top-up mode.
No DRS available, no DRS available.
Recharge on. We need to do lift off.
Closing on Yuki. Barely. Yellow flag. Another crash.
We've got a yellow flag here.
And this is
So we're heading
Gasly
now into turn
and
5.
Joe.
Barely any room to manoeuvre.
And that is
And the impact on
damage
the car,
to
it's
Joe's
quite
tyres,
clear. That
probably.
will have knocked
Certainly
their
damage to
confidence, I'm sure.
Gasly's front wing there. Joe's tyres are looking okay. We're going to probably see a penalty out of that, which is good.
Bring the pack up.
Copy.
Schumacher's tyres are going to start to give up now, so we want to start pushing.
Copy.
Got a nice slipstream on the back of Russell here. Oh, I thought Schumacher was on soft. I must have just misread the banding on his tyres there. He is on hards after all. And we're going to have a little lunge up the middle, the inside there. That's back into peak confidence again. And now let's make a move on George, whose tyres are definitely worse for wear compared to ours. Who gets the DRS? It's George. I have a feeling it might be. Should be able to hold him off. We've got the inside line. There we go. Back into maximum confidence. And still got enough battery, I think, just to try and close the gap up to Magnussen before we run out. Push the fuel a little bit here as well. Try and break away from Russell.
Just keep cruising up to him.
We're almost out of battery, so I want to make sure we do actually close up enough. There we go.
Look after front tyres. Focus on bringing the pack back up.
Lovely stuff. Oscar making some moves. Again, just trying to rebuild that battery so that we can push past Magnussen and straight onto Stroll. Try and leapfrog our way up the order a little bit. Also not really improving his pace at the moment in regards to Tsunoda. The gap's still pretty big. Got a little bit more leeway on the tyres, so we'll give him a bit more push. Let's check his confidence stats. He's into neutral stats now, I hope. Nearly. Down to -1s. So he's slowly getting there. Just dropping off the back of Magnussen. Let's quickly up the pace slightly.
The pack. We're good to push on the tyres.
Go back into DRS range.
We need more lift and coast in 10.
think we are starting to see, and I realise I am breaking the cardinal rule here, the old curse of the commentator, etc. But I do think we are starting to see signs that Oscar's going to start pushing on in the second half of the season.
Push a bit more.
It's going to be easier for us to get him into peak confidence now that he's partnered up with Ben and his relationship with Ben's improving. As Bottas pits on 14th. Magnussen trying to stretch his legs a little bit now. Wilson getting his pace up again now. And he did get passed by Verstappen again, which is one of the reasons why he did drop back a little bit more, having closed Yuki down a little bit. Have to keep an eye out because the Ferraris are coming with Ocon as well. So that's 3 cars in quick succession that are back and hunting him down. Light hand up. Thanks for stopping in tonight. I'm going to have to use some battery, I think, just to get back into range of Magnussen. Hoping to avoid doing that, but needs must. Just the last 3 -1s to get rid of. And Bottas going to the end now on those hard tyres.
Coast. Need to focus on getting the pack
back into DRS range at last. So I can keep pushing Lawson's tyres a little bit longer, which is good because it's helping keeping him ahead of the Ferraris. And we are now starting to close down Yuki again. We are fast approaching the point where we're going to be retiring Lawson. Unless we get a red flag or a safety car very soon.
We need to focus on the energy now.
Copy.
Are we going to see a repeat of Lewis's last stop? No, it's clean. Albon's in.
Russell's pitted.
That's a bad stop for Albon. An okay stop there. Perez boxing from second. That's a good stop. Oscar's pit window is about to open. Ocon boxing now. Chance to try and undercut the Ferraris.
Use deploy, use deploy.
Copy. Magnussen has now stopped.
And that's Magnussen into
Bring
the
the pack
box.
up.
So, what
Cool.
tyres is he putting on? Probably mediums. It's not a quick stop. It's clean, but it's not a quick stop. Frustrating at the moment. One mistake from Lawson and he's in limbo for the rest of the race. Yeah, this is the problem when you've got young drivers who lack confidence and have a crap car and lack the skills to overcome the crap car. Given that we are shifting focus to Oscar, this is why I switched Ben over to Oscar, to help him recover from issues like this faster. And we are replacing Lawson at the end of the season. He'll no doubt get a drive somewhere on the grid. If we do go for Schumacher, he'll probably end up taking Schumacher's spot at Alfa Romeo. So we're at least setting him up for a continued career in Formula One. It's not like he's going to drop off the grid and never come back. I mean, he's certainly in a much stronger position stat-wise than Sargent, who might not make his way back on the grid. It depends. Maybe Sargent might appear at Haas. Maybe Lawson will go to Haas. You know, both Hülkenberg and Magnussen out of contract at the end of this season. I would imagine Hülkenberg will probably not get renewed. Magnussen might go somewhere else. It could be Lawson and Sargent together at Haas. Schumacher scares you, wasn't he quite error prone in 22? He was. He's better in this, and between him and Sargent, he is the safer choice. It's not a done deal that we're going for Schumacher, but I will probably go for Schumacher, because again, it would be nice to get Schumacher a Drivers' World Championship to emulate his father as well. So that could be a tertiary objective. Our secondary objective, obviously, behind becoming world champions in the constructors, is to make Oscar a Drivers' Champion. Can we make Schumacher a Drivers' Champion as well? Stroll and Tsunoda both boxing in front of us. We're going to get undercut by some of these cars, because I am going to extend as long as I can with Oscar, give him the option of going onto a set of softs for a bit more pace. And I don't think we're going to get the miracle that we need, so let's box Lawson for one final time. See if we can get a good stop out of him.
Copy, box.
And then we'll retire him. You thought I was sticking to Red Bull development drivers except for Piastri? Well, it wasn't one of the the rules that we set down. It was certainly something that was appealing, but the more I think about it, the more I would like to be able to enjoy those early podiums that we get, especially our first race win. And if we have Lawson, we will not be able to enjoy our first podium if he makes it there. We will not be able to enjoy our first win if he makes it there, because we will not get to see those scenes. And given the hard work that we're going to have to put in just to get anywhere close to that, I want to be able to enjoy that moment. And so whether it's Lawson or Fittipaldi or Hajar or Iwasa, none of them have a head model. None of them will ever be seen on the podium. Oh, that's a great stop. 2.36 seconds. Beautiful stuff. And second fastest stop. So we know that it's very quick stops out there. I don't think we're going to improve on that. So let's just go ahead and bring him in now.
Box. Try to bring it back. Sorry.
So we need to push hard on these.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only rules we put in place regarding drivers, which we couldn't sign anyone over 85 rated and over the age of 26. Schumacher is neither of those things. So, there we go. That's Lawson's race done. Disappointing weekend again for him. It's looking alright for Oscar at the moment. We're on target for our top 15 finish, which is the objective I kind of set at the beginning of the weekend.
Get your head down, you can do this, come on.
And then we're going to box Oscar for a set of softs.
Box.
Yep. Box.
We're probably going to get lapped by making this stop. See, is Max yet to stop? Max is going to stop again. Maybe we'll be okay then. Piastri is a long way ahead of Perez on track. Perez just hitting turn 1 now. But inevitably we will probably get lapped at some point.
Oscar,
Right, so a good stop please here, Oscar.
Copy
Can
that.
at least get some fast pit stop times for both drivers tonight. His first stop wasn't good. It's okay, it's not great. We're in 17th.
So slow now.
Copy.
Forgot to change the strategy. Alright, let's delete that off and then add on that, so at least I can track our tyre wear. There we go. Got to be careful. We're going to be right up against the carcass on the last lap or two. Is it Mick already 25 in the game? Not sure exactly how old Mick is, but like I said, you can't sign anyone over the age of 26, so, you know, 26-year-old drivers are fine. I think he's like 24 at the moment, maybe 25.
No saving required.
He's definitely within the tolerance. These Hulkenberg boxes, we're going to crank up for a lap at full push.
Do what you can.
Yeah. Copy.
Set some personal best sectors and see if we can improve that confidence level again. Three seconds to Russell. Hulkenberg's come out just in front. Did he go onto softs? He did. Went purple there. I don't think we've got fastest lap material in the car, especially considering Max has just put on a new set of soft tyres. We've got it for now, but we're not going to hold it. Oh, there's a lock-up in front. That's Hulkenberg. I heard the screech of the tyres. I was worried it was us for a second then.
Now we can see what happened. So here we go, heading into turn one. The wheels just lock up there, and they ended up their own passenger.
And that's big damage to those brand new softs for Hulkenberg. They're down to 78%. Ooh, that's a big lock-up.
Back up. We can just focus on charging the pack.
I want to go VSC. Ooh, okay. Not quite sure why, but that will help us with our tyres beautifully and get our battery fully recharged. Leclerc is out. What happened to Charles Leclerc?
Big.
Right,
As he
so
locks
this
up.
was the fourth corner.
Gone into the barriers.
Just
No, he's spun it
flies
into the
that
barriers.
Crash. And they'll definitely be facing a few questions from the team after that.
That's a bad crash there.
And look at the team there. They all knew what that moment meant.
That's a podium gone for Charles Leclerc. That puts Ocon on the podium. Ocon's been quick this weekend. He's been up there all weekend. He's been on the back of the Ferraris and the Red Bulls for most of this race. It looks like he's going to get his reward. He's comfortably ahead of Hamilton right now. Does anyone need to stop? Zhou needs to stop, so we might well see Zhou boxing at the end of this lap. Where is Zhou? There he is. Yeah, so Zhou's probably going to box here. I certainly would be boxing in these conditions. Save a bit of time. He's still going to lose out to Norris and Sainz, but he might, if he's really lucky, stay ahead of Alonso. He's staying out. Why is he staying out? He can't be looking to take those tyres to the end, surely not. If he does, he's going to be so slow. And he's going to risk a puncture. He would certainly have got out ahead of his teammate if he'd boxed. Maybe he doesn't have enough life left in whatever soft tyres he's got left. Maybe he doesn't have any mediums left, but even so, any new tyre at this point would be better. Even worn out mediums would be better at this point than those almost dead hard tyres. Come on, Zhou. Make the right call here. He's staying out again. Ah, that's it. Zhou. That's his race ruined. He was never going to stay in 5th place, given the life left in those tyres. Norris will get him. Sainz will absolutely get him, and probably get Norris as well.
Oops. DRS enabled. We need some pace. We need to focus on getting the pack up. Use energy.
Once again, we're hunting down Magnussen in 12th. That's our on-track target. We're about 5 seconds off him right now, with much better tyres. And a driver in peak confidence again.
We need to focus on the energy now.
And there is Max just appearing in the back of the shot. There he is. Yeah, there's no way we're going to hold him off for another 12 laps after this one. We are definitely getting a lap. Another yellow flag. Someone's spun out. It's Albon, I think.
Yellow.
No, it's Zhou.
Copy.
No, it's Gasly. I don't know what's going on here.
Now this was at turn 1. Oh no, that's not how to do it. And there'll be words...
That's another driver on soft scuffing up their tyres. Zhou's still out there. He's been overtaken by Norris and Sainz. I saw Zhou moving down the order, and that's what I thought was the was the spin.
Lean on the tyres.
And now he boxes. Now he boxes. When everyone's back at full racing speed. What a disaster for Zhou there. Another yellow flag. That's Hamilton, I think.
Yellow ahead.
Copy.
Let's take a closer look. So here we go, heading into turn 1. Very heavy on the brakes. And hopefully there's not too much damage to the tyres.
Getting lapped does not hurt your confidence. But the problem with getting lapped is that you have to lift, you lose quite a bit of time to the cars that you're around. And it can hurt you sometimes, you know. Sometimes you can, it works to your benefit and you can close up on the car behind you. Sorry, in front of you as they get lapped, you know, shortly after you do. But sometimes the gap can open up and it can take a while to close it back down again. Sometimes you could be vulnerable to the car that was behind you suddenly closing right on you and having a lunge. Yeah, it just breaks your momentum. It depends where you get caught on track. I'm going to encourage us to get past here before we get to the DRS zone so that we get DRS off the back of Max. Like that, there we go. And now we're going to attack so that we are right there with Russell when he has to pull over. Well, Russell and Magnussen. One thing this has also done is it's given us one less lap we have to do on the tyres and more fuel to play about with. So we have 1 kilo of reserve fuel at the moment. Effectively, we now have 2.6 kilos of fuel because we've been lapped, as long as we don't unlap ourselves.
You can back off a bit.
So fuel is not an issue for the remainder of this race. I can push the fuel to the end.
Is available. No more overtake. Back off.
Sweet.
Good job. You're at P13.
Right, very nice. Up to 13th. Stay tucked in behind George for a lap or two. Gasly might be a little bit too much, but if we can get past George as quick as we can actually and stay with Max. What's Max doing? Doing 114s. Yeah, we could maybe, if we're lucky, ride Max all the way up to the back of Gasly.
No energy.
We're not going to be able to. We can't get through. All right. That's a shame.
Keep looking after these tyres.
But Gasly is going to have to lift when Max catches up to him. That'll slow him down maybe by up to 2 seconds, depending on where he gets caught and passed. If he has to lift on the start-finish straight, that's going to really slow him down. So, seeing as we can't go with Max, we'll just have to prep for when that happens. Russell retake that place. Stay behind him, keep charging. Stay in his DRS. Perez is coming. He's about 3 seconds behind us. There he is.
We can just focus on charging the pack. Pick up the pace. Use energy. Everything you've got.
Right, full stat boost. Can I break George before we get to the DRS detection point? Maybe, if I'm lucky. Maybe.
Energy.
Yes.
Focus on bringing the pack back up.
So, 6 laps to go. And we're now just 3 seconds behind Gasly. He's been passed by Max, and I think Max did get him on the start-finish straight, which cost him at least 2 seconds. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful. There he is. If something happens to one of the top 10, which we've seen has happened with Leclerc, then we could be in for a fight for a point, which would be incredible. Yes, these tyres slightly better than ours. We're not catching Joe. Gap's too far. All we can do is just try and eke our way onto the back of Gasly and then hope for a retirement in front.
6 laps to go.
5 laps. We're a lap down. I wonder if Gasly's still got a little bit of damage from that collision he had with Russell earlier. He had to lift on his last lap, which is why it was slower than ours. Let's see what he does at the end of this lap. I think he's probably lapping about the same kind of pace as us. This is where I wish I had a little bit more battery, so I could really just try and push onto the back of him. Don't quite have enough. There's Perez. If Perez catches us, it kills any chance we have of getting Gasly. Perez has got past Russell. He's about to get past Magnussen. Magnussen's going to have to lift on the main straight. That's going to hurt Magnussen badly.
5 to go. Copy.
And there you see it cost Magnussen over a second to us there. Just that lift. Here comes Perez. Maybe. What pace is Perez doing? 114s. Maybe, actually, if we get caught in the right place, Perez might drag us onto Gasly. If we get caught in the right place and we can pull over and let Perez through without losing any real time, this may work to our advantage.
Need to focus on getting the pack up. Back off.
Let's see if we can get caught before the DRS zone here.
Big lift off.
No, damn it.
No saving required.
Ah, we got caught in the worst possible place.
4 to go. You can use energy.
So I just have to go for it now with everything I've got and hope that we can get close enough so that when Gasly lifts, we can get into his DRS and then maybe have a lunge on the last lap. It's going to be an issue with tyres. Don't know if the tyres are going to last long enough for us to do this.
No energy.
Are we close enough for DRS? Please be close enough for DRS. I don't think we are. No, we missed it.
3 laps to go.
2 laps left. I'm going to be pushing these tyres right down to the canvas. We have taken some time out of Gasly. He is going to have to lift. He's going to have to lift in the DRS zone. I think. Or maybe he's going to lift on the main straight. That would be perfect if he lifts on the main straight. No, I think he's about to get past now. Not yet, not yet. Perez still tucked up behind him. Ah, there he got him, and he's given him the DRS, but we are in range now. Gasly got the DRS, but so did we.
This will be our last lap. Need to look after the tyres.
Can we do this?
Use energy.
Don't think I've got anything
Focus
left.
forward.
No, we just haven't got enough left. If the tyres overheat, do you guys slow out? Well, not technically, but your tyres wear out a lot quicker, which will naturally lower your pace. Just didn't quite have enough
Max
left
Verstappen
to get Gasly.
over
It wouldn't
the
have made a
finish
difference
line
in the end,
and
but
today's winner.
it would have been nice to get 11th. 12th place, though. Very happy with 12th place, considering
Thanks for all the effort.
how
Thank you very
bad
much.
our pace was looking at the start of the Grand Prix. I will happily take that.
And that will definitely be a day to forget for the AlphaTauri driver.
That was a bitterly disappointing retirement. The team certainly wouldn't have wanted their race to end this way.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
Win number 5 is in the bag. They pulled out all the stops, pushing hard to earn that victory.
And by the looks of things here in Barcelona, the party's only just beginning. And down there in the AlphaTauri garage, Karun, what would they be making of that race, do you think?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
And with that, our time in Barcelona is done.
For the next round, the teams are travelling to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal.
So then confirmation of the final result. Max takes another win. That's win number 5 for Max this season. And he got the fastest lap as well. Perez down into second place. Ocon, a great race for him, up 5 places to finish on the podium. Disappointing race for the Ferraris. Sainz dropping down into 4th place. Leclerc failing to finish. Strong race for Norris, up 6 places, gets a nice 10 points there. Alonso up 3 to finish in 6th. Then it's Hamilton, Stroll up 7 places in 8th. Zhou in 9th and Albon in 10th. So both Williams scoring points tonight. Into the bottom half, there you see Gasly up at 3 places to finish in 11th. Oscar just behind him in 12th. Then Russell, Magnussen, bad race for him. Hülkenberg in 15th. Then Bottas, Schumacher, Tsunoda. And then Leclerc with his big crash. And Lawson, who we manually retired because he was so far off the back of the pack. In the Drivers' Championship then, that's now a 30-point lead for Max Verstappen over his teammate. Alonso moves back up into 3rd spot with Alonso on 80. Leclerc failing to score, now 7 behind. And just hanging on ahead of his teammate by virtue of an extra podium, as they are level on points now. Stroll dropping down into 6th place. Russell stays 7th, no points gained for him. Big points for Ocon, sees him move up into 8th place. Lewis moves up a place as well, as does Norris, and it's Gasly who's lost out there. No points for him, he drops down 3 places and is now out of the top 10. Looking a little bit further down, as you can see, points for both Williams drivers. They stay where they are, but they close the gap to Yuki. Liam stays in 15th with 3 points. Oscar in 16th with 2. Magnussen overtakes Bottas, but still no points from 17th on downwards. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull with 44 points, the maximum once again, 316 now against 148 for Aston Martin, who stay 2 points clear of Ferrari. They had a real opportunity to retake 2nd place there, and Leclerc's crash ruined that opportunity. Mercedes stay 4th, Alpine in 5th, hunting them down. They are now just 16 points behind. McLaren once again stretching their legs. Considering 6th is our target, that looks to be a bit of a bridge too far for us. Can we maybe hunt down Williams? They're now 12 points clear and still scoring points. That's going to be a tough ask as well. And then below us, no points for Haas or Alfa Romeo, so we stay 8th and they stay 9th and 10th. Let's take a look at the pit stop challenge. It's a Red Bull 1-2, 2.32 seconds for Max, 2.36 for Sergio, 2.361. We were 1,000th slower than Perez's stop there. But we do get 3rd place, and unfortunately, we do not get on the board with Oscar. Just couldn't quite squeeze out a quick enough time there. So Red Bull will stretch their gap. They're now 30 points clear of us at the top of the standings there. McLaren do not outscore us, so we do gain another 3 points on them. We are now 73 points clear. That's nice. Ferrari in 4th with 101. Alpine on 73. just a point clear of Mercedes on 72. Aston gained a point to move up to 6. Williams with 2, no points for Alfa or Haas. And there you see 2.695 was a decent but slow stop for Lawson. The 2.36 was the one that got him the points. 2.643. Yeah, we just missed off. We were a couple of hundredths slower than Alonso in 10th there, so just missing out. Let's take a look at our driver performance now. Not a great race for Lawson, as you can see. 1 successful overtake, 1 failed. 1 successful defence, 7 failed. Went backwards and never recovered, unfortunately. Oscar, though, I'm expecting good numbers here. 12 successful overtakes, 7 failed, 8 successful defences and 7 failed. A very, very productive afternoon for our young Australian there. And as far as the sponsors go, well, we we lost money with our guarantees. We just missed out on getting both cars into Q2, and that cost us 160,000. Well, sorry, cost us 80,000 in failed objectives. But we did keep our finish position streak going, so that's good. And we come out with 2.5 mil. What did I miss? I saw Saradub return, said he had a question, and I glanced back at my phone and it's gone. I don't know what the question was. I'm guessing it was not appropriate. Right, the CFD simulator has been refurbed now. Excellent. So that will start to get us slightly better performance on anything we design from now on. Really do need to get a wind tunnel upgrade done. Oh, he asked you to time him out. Okay. Maybe he wants it like a badge of honor or something. It would be nice to refurb the factory. Our research project on the side pods is done. Let's see, cars definitely failed some inspection. The rear wing went on Lawson's car and on Oscar's as well. Luckily, that suspension is going to last one more Grand Prix weekend. That's good, because we are without spare suspensions at the moment. Nothing in danger of breaking immediately on Lawson's car. Excellent stuff. Right, let's have a quick look at car parts in development. We have got a spare suspension coming in a day, and spare front wings will be ready for Canada. Got 11 days until Canada. The chassis will be finished before then, but will not be ready for Canada. What do I have in terms of need for spare parts? Rear wings, I'm down to the last 2, but I won't need a new one immediately. And we are working on a new rear wing. We should have time between Canada and Silverstone? Or is it Austria? Let's have a look at... There we go. So, yeah, Canada, and then we've got a 2-week gap till we get to Austria. So, the rear wing will be finished there on the race day. So, when we come back on the Monday, we will have a week and a half before the next Grand Prix to pump out, plenty of rear wings. We'll get 4 out in time for the next Grand Prix. So I don't need to worry about that. That's good. Right, let's see. What could we work on? What spec are we on some of these parts? We're on Spec 2 chassis. You've got a 3rd one coming. Spec 2 front wing. Could do another front wing. Spec 3 suspension is on the way. Spec 4 rear wing is coming. I'm 28 days away from another ATR period. Now, if I went like that, I'm not going to get huge gains on a wing project. I'm going to get very little boost to downforce. Not really going to get a massive boost to brake cooling either. So we might hold off until we get some hours before we do that. What else could we work on? We could work on another underfloor. Although we're looking at low gains here as well, by the look of it. Yeah, again, I don't think we can really make any real gains with the underfloor. So it doesn't seem to be much point in doing that. Maybe another side pod. Again, our expertise gain is very low. Doesn't seem to be any real improvements we can make without hours. Given the costs involved, I'm not really keen to throw that away. So instead, let's get some research going on our underfloor. Airflow sensitivity is going to be hit hard, so we'll pump that up. But I'm not overly concerned about airflow sensitivity in relation to downforce levels, etc. I'm going to leave that pretty neutral, actually, and just bump that up like that. We'll put one engineer on that. So I've got 4.5 mil. Is that going to be enough for the race sim? Yes, it is. So we'll get the race sim up and running to its maximum level. There we go. Let me check our other facilities. Boardroom still 8 days away. That'll upgrade just in time for Canada. What did the board think of our exploits in Barca? They were disappointed. Ugh. Yeah, we desperately need those those improved boardrooms. Let's see. Freddie gets the win in the F2 race ahead of Victor Martins and Arthur Leclerc. And then in the F3 race, it's Hiroshi Onishi ahead of Oliver Goethe and Kaya Calais. Spare suspension is done. Spare front wings are done. Monthly car development reports. It's not great, as we know. May financial reports is good. We've got some extra cash again. Board confidence check-in. They still have medium confidence. Let's check our driver development updates. So, 2 points of improvement for defending and a point improvement for reactions for Liam. Oscar gets his cornering up by a point and his adaptability up by 2 points. He's becoming a much more well-rounded driver now, as you can see. Comparing the side-by-side stats, let's go to our drivers and do a straight side-by-side comparison. So you can see it's Oscar with the advantage in cornering, Liam with the advantage in braking. Oscar's got the better control rating, Liam with a better smoothness, much better adaptability for Oscar, very, very close in overtaking, big improvement in defending for Oscar over Liam, slight improvement in reactions for Liam, and a slight accuracy boost for Oscar. Very close in some of those stats, but Oscar definitely has the edge on performance. We have an okay affinity now. 6 weeks. And Oscar, again, okay affinity. That will improve. And let's take a little gander at Schumacher. He's 25 years old, so he is still eligible to join us, even if he goes up to 26, which won't be until early next year. He would still be eligible. He's definitely open to negotiation. Salary isn't too bad. He's in the average development rate now, but it'll still be a relatively strong development rate. Now you can see not quite as quick in cornering and braking as Liam, slightly better in control. Smoothness is the same, but he's more adaptable. He's got better overtaking, much better defending, better reactions and better accuracy, and a lot less aggression. So should theoretically be better in terms of not crashing so much. Let's also take a look at where is he? Mr. Sargent, who is out of contract at the moment. He also is now in the average development rate, and there you can see he is definitely worse than Mick. So Mick has better cornering, they're the same in braking, much less control, slightly lower smoothness, slightly better adaptability, worse in overtaking, worse in defending, worse in reactions, and worse in accuracy. So yeah, Mick is looking like a suitable replacement, I think, for Liam. Liam does have a little bit long on his contract. He's out of contract at the end of next season, so we could buy off the last year of his contract and replace him with Mick at the end of this year. I've got a little bit of cash. Do I want to go ahead and book that in now? No, we'll wait till the end of the season, I think. If I make that now, I'm going to have to pay out those costs now, and I don't want to waste that money. So, what we can do is we can refurb our factory. That'll help speed up production. Let's get our pit crew training in for the next calendar month. Give them a full day of gym training there. And a full day there. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then throw in a bit more training like that. Give them the Sunday off, get them in on the Monday. I'm going to give them that day off. There we go. Give them the Monday off. A day on the training on the Tuesday. Yeah, there we go. Let's confirm those changes. I want to double check my training actually with these guys. So, driving standards. It's working on his overtaking and defending. We'll switch to race strategy to continue working on the overtaking and defending, but also to try and boost his smoothness a little bit. And if we get a little bit more in reactions, that's always nice. Let's keep a look at Oscar. I think he's still on short run pace. Yes, he is. We're going to keep him on that to try and get that. Actually, we could maybe try and look at focusing on braking. Braking control, overtaking and defending. That's working on his braking and accuracy. Yeah, we'll leave him on short run pace. May in Formula One, Aston Martin have unveiled a new side pod for their car, and they're now working on a rear wing, apparently. Red Bull, it's going great. Get lost. Let's go to the facility and slap on the final boardroom upgrade, because we need all the help we can to survive. We can start manufacturing the brand new chassis. We'll have that ready for Silverstone. No, for Austria. And we don't have the money. Okay, we can't start working on that. Whoops. We are $1,000 short. Of course we are. There we go. Ah, you're kidding me. Alright, so new completion date's the 20th. Which is the day before Silverstone, sorry, the day before Austria. I need those rear wings for Austria. Crap. Yeah, it's more about getting that DRS boost, 4-place gain at a circuit where there's a lot of DRS. So here's the trade-off. Do I sacrifice the wings for a race for the chassis? Oh yeah, looking at that, I think that is pretty much a no-brainer. I think the chassis is the more important upgrade. Big improvement in downforce, big improvement in speed, a little bit of an improvement in acceleration. We have to start work on these. It's going to take 10 days though, and that means I'll only get one. It's a sprint weekend, there's a risk of something going wrong, but it does mean I should have 2 for Silverstone. I don't know what to do. Do I spend the money to keep the rear wings on schedule, get them for Austria? Hang on, let's have a look. Silverstone is how many days away? It's 22 days away. We'll have 19 days, 18 days. So we won't get 2 chassis. We'll only get 1 for Silverstone. But we'll have better DRS. I think we've got to go with the rear wing. It'll boost both cars for Austria. and then we can at least boost one of our cars for Silverstone. So maybe I could even rush the chassis after this Grand Prix as well. So we'll pay that overtime, much as it pains me to do so. There we go. Right, well, there we go then. That is the end of another Grand Prix. Not a bad result for tonight. Just missing out on points, but a good run and a good showing from Oscar. Lawson just never recovered from that early mistake, which was compounded by making another mistake just a couple of laps later. And unfortunately, that is going to be the tale of the season for Lawson. If he keeps making mistakes like that, he's never really going to be in a position to recover while the car is where it is. Hopefully we can do something tomorrow at Canada. It's another race that can be a bit weird. Do we have a weather report for Canada? Oh, it's a very wet race. Okay. Dry practice, dry quali, very wet race. That could be interesting. Okay, well, that's tomorrow. Usual time, 8 p.m. GMT. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.